What is...
And he didn't actually say, King Saul sent me. But God sort of is using David to an end. So I guess it's a half-truth in that regard. It's, I don't know. Might be sort of lawyerly, breaking it down like that. But, and David, when he goes to Gath after this, and Sheesh thinks David is the king. And I think David has been like unofficially ordained king by Samuel. So if David sent himself too, you could also make the argument that if David, this is where he fled. And so the king hath sent him. You know, you could justify that in two ways, but that might be sort of lawyerly. And he asks him for bread, but all there is the showbread. And this is actually referenced in the New Testament. I couldn't give you the exact verse, but this is referenced in, I think, in the context of explaining that the Sabbath is for man, and man not for the Sabbath, and that's why it's righteous for Jesus to heal and do things like that on the Sabbath, even though they're not supposed to work. Because in this case, they're not supposed to eat the showbread. The showbread is like a hallowed thing in the temple. But because that's the only bread there, for David to continue on his journey, this is the bread he needs to eat. So it's just an early example of what's to come. I guess maybe like the type archetype thing or whatever.
Yeah, I guess I'm an A-log Mormon, drunken surfer.
That ultimately things are more spiritual, and these physical ordinances were actually set up for man. So that's why in this case, similar to how later on we'll see how it's righteous for Jesus to heal on the Sabbath, it's righteous here for David to eat the showbread, because it helps him on his journey to do God's will for the kingdom of Israel at this time. Now it's interesting in verse 5. Well, in verse 4 actually, Ahimelech's one condition is that if the young men have kept themselves at least from women. That is sort of interesting.
Dude, he's having about as much troubles as I am streaming.
Well, it looks CSIS has reacquired my new stream key. Fear not, I got a brand new ice pack. You know, CSIS thinks they can contend. Well, even though I forgot to refreeze the old ice pack, I got a brand new ice pack, CSIS, and it fits over the phone a bit more snug and compact. It's a Life brand ice pack, and it becomes hot or cold. You know, so if you beat the cold signal, I'll come back with a hot signal. I want to make sure it doesn't press the buttons. I think we're good. So, where we left off, the Ahimelech's one condition for David to eat the showbread were that the men were kept holy from abstaining from women. And I don't know how much we can read into that, but it's you know, certainly through NoFap and abstaining from women, the drive in life is a little bit higher. I guess not all of the time. As we know, Surfer slept in until 5 p.m. today. But no, it's interesting. I don't know what I can really read into that. But you know, abstaining from the influence of women does keep the mind sharp in some regard, I guess. And it's kept David holy in this regard. So the priest gives David the bread,